If we could ask everyone to start getting to your seats. Again, if you could start getting to your seats, that would be great. If you are a family or guest member that is sitting on the hill and you want to come closer to the graduation site, we invite you to do so. There are seats without designated tags. You're welcome to come down. The graduation ceremony will begin in about 10 minutes. So again, if you'll grab your seats, the graduates will be coming. We ask that you leave all the sidewalks open throughout the graduation ceremony, as that's where the graduates will be walking in and walking out. So again, leave the the sidewalks available. And again, we'll start in 10 minutes. Thank you all for being here. so the graduates, the faculty, and the platform party will be able to come in. They are going to be coming right behind the stage here. The seats here. So if you can leave those. Once the ceremony starts, again, we would ask that you leave those sidewalks available for them as they come in and out of the ceremony. Thank you all.
TW family, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the 2021 commencement exercises of Tennessee Wesleyan University. I'm Harley Knowles, president of TWU. It is with great pleasure that I declare our ceremony officially open. Thank you so much for wearing your face covering as we do so to demonstrate our love and respect for our neighbors and for our family and friends who are depending on us to keep them safe. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the invocation by the illustrious chaplain, Reverend Skip White.
Let us pray. Almighty God, today is a day of celebration for our graduates and their families. You have guided their steps from the first day to now their last. You have given them courage and strength to prepare. You've given them hope when they were afraid. You gave them peace when they were worried. You gave them abundance when they didn't think what they had was enough. So give them now a double portion of your strength to walk away from this place, to build their lives yet again. Give them a double portion of your courage to start their careers and their families, and a double portion of your peace to know that even though they may not have all the answers, you do. We know that you will surround and protect them with your grace and allow them to remember that although they may not be a student at Tennessee Wesleyan University, they will always and forever be a part of the Bulldog family. Grow us, O Lord, in this family to serve, love, and cherish one another so that your love will be known in a hurting world. Through our lives shared together, we will be a blessing and be blessed by others. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thanks, Reverend White. Appreciate it. Please be seated. Let me take a moment to introduce our platform dignitaries from your right to left. Our Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Grant Wilhite. Our Chaplain, Reverend Skip White. Alumni Representative, Ms. Brooke Sakioviak. Our Student Speaker, Ms. Chloe Roots. And our Featured Speaker, Mr. Jeff Cunningham. And finally, our representative from the Board of Trustees, Reverend Dr. Vant Hardaway. At this time, I would like to ask any current or former members of the board who are present to please stand and let us thank you for your service to Tennessee Wesleyan. I would also ask active duty servicemen and women and all veterans of the military to please stand so we can thank you for your service to this country. Each year, we ask our students to select a speaker from among the senior class. Today, we continue that tradition. Our student speaker today comes to us from Kempsey, Australia. She's a graduating magna cum laude with a bachelor's degree in exercise science. She's also been a leader on our women's soccer team for the last 4 years. Please welcome this year's student speaker, Ms. Chloe Roots.
Wow, okay. I wasn't exactly sure how to begin this speech. I didn't know if it was more appropriate to say, "G'day, mate," or "Good morning, y'all." It is my honor and privilege to be standing here today on behalf of the graduating class of 2021. I would like to extend a warm welcome to faculty and staff, family and friends from near and far, distinguished guests, and the graduates sitting here today. When preparing my speech, I thought it was only fair to shine a light on the voices of our graduating class. As William Arthur once said, feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. So throughout this speech, you may hear some words of gratitude from those sitting around you. Thank you. On behalf of the graduating body, I would like to thank the Tennessee Wesleyan University staff and faculty for sleep deprivation, anxiety, excessive drinking, coffee addictions, bad eating habits, and the inability to write an essay without crying. On a more serious note, Dr. Gaston, a message from Abigail Williams. Thank you for your passion and care, for making me thrilled to have my own classroom, and for being the only professor to correct my grammar just that once. Mr. Gregory, aka Doug, a message from Mandy Williams. My favorite memory is seeing Doug come in every morning in such a great mood, and him dancing awkwardly in the silence we gave him when we didn't know the answer to a question. Dr. Prairie, a message from Kim DeCosta. Thank you for threatening to complete my application for grad school for me if I didn't. And Dr. Gaynor, a message from Julia Ruiz Vargas. Thank you for going out of your way to help me get a step closer to my dream of going to med school. Dr. Hayden, thank you for making my brain explode every single philosophy class. I think I speak on behalf of everyone that's had a philosophy class. I had Dr. Smeaton for a class my very first semester as a freshman, and still, till this day, every time I pass him on campus, he says, "Miss Roots," with a little head nod, and off he goes. It is these very small and insignificant moments that I have learnt mean much more than any of the big things. I will never take the small things for granted, and I ask you to do the same. As we all depart from TWU on our new journeys, I encourage and challenge you to say yes to every opportunity that comes your way, big or small. Something I've learned is that we always get opportunities, and it's not the people that get the most opportunities that win, but it's the people that have the courage to say yes. So be brave, be vigilant, and be gracious. 9 years ago, I said my very first yes. I was 14 years old and on a one-way flight to Germany, where I would live and play soccer for the next 2 years. I lasted a total of 6 weeks before I realized that Germany was not the place I needed to be. During these 6 weeks, though, I was offered a full scholarship to attend the largest co-ed boarding school in New Zealand. So I had exactly 4 days to get from Germany back to Australia, unpack, repack my suitcases before I had to be on campus in New Zealand in order to qualify for the high school national soccer tournament. New Zealand was my second big yes in life. Just like Germany, I had done absolutely no research about where I was going in New Zealand. Till this day, my biggest thank you in life has been that leap of faith I took moving to New Zealand all on my own, without mum or dad, at the age of 14. I spent 4 unbelievable years meeting some phenomenal people whilst getting an amazing education and playing the sport I love. My third big yes came my senior year of high school when my high school soccer coach put me in contact with Tennessee Wesleyan University. Without even Googling TWU, I said yes. What was I getting myself into? I wasn't sure. All I knew is that I was on a plane to America. Now, if you had have asked me freshman year of college if I'd be standing here giving the commencement speech at graduation, I probably would have laughed at you and said, "Don't be silly, I'm not coming back for my sophomore year." My dad told me that if I flew home, he was putting me on the next flight back. You'll never truly understand, but the decisions you make today and tomorrow are going to influence your life in 5, 10, even 15 years down the road. I challenge you to say yes to all the amazing opportunities that are placed in front of you. You will be scared. You will think you're not cut out for it. You will miss your home and your family, but trust me when I say it could lead you to some of the most beautiful and amazing moments in your life. For me, That first big yes at the age of 14 has led me to this exact moment, standing here on stage in Athens, Tennessee, 9,108 miles from my home, talking into a microphone to my American classmates about why you should be thankful for everything in life. My final challenge for you all is to go out and say thank you to the people who mean the most to you, even for the smallest of things. Thank people for making you smile, for waking you up in the morning so that you didn't miss class, for sharing their snack with you, even when you didn't ask, or for just being themselves. Thank the people who used to be strangers and are now family. My last thank you goes to the two most important people in my life. It has been 472 very long days since I have gave them a hug, and that is Mum and Dad. I thank them for not holding me back and encouraging me to pursue the life I'm living. I thank them for the unconditional love, even if it is from afar. I thank them for supporting my yes moments. Without them, I am no one. So please, hug your loved ones a little tighter and never, ever miss an opportunity to tell someone how much you love them. Congratulations, graduating class of 2021. I thank you for making my experience at TWU one to remember, and I cannot wait to see where your yes moments take you. I love each and every one of you. Thank you. I love you, Mum and Dad. And Nan and Pop.
Well, we're grateful for you, Chloe. Thank you for all you've done for our institution and for so many of us. It is with great pleasure this morning that we bestow a very special honor to a most deserving individual, Reverend Dr. Vant Hardaway. From administrator and coach to minister and board member, Reverend Dr. Hardaway has been a faithful servant to the citizens of this region. Reverend Dr. Hardaway worked for McMinn County School System after serving as alternative school supervisor, history teacher, and basketball coach, and retiring from a position as supervisor of safety and equity. He's also a member of the executive committee of the Athens Education Association and was a member of the Tennessee Education Association Board of Directors. On top of all these duties, he led the First Church of Sweetwater as its senior pastor for 19 years. Ever since his retirement, Dr. Hardaway remains a force for good throughout this community and is currently a volunteer chaplain for Star Regional Hospital and Sweetwater Hospital. He volunteers at Grace and Mercy Ministry and is a member of the McMinn County Hall of Fame Committee. He's an inspiration to many in this region for his acts of love, compassion, and leadership. Dr. Hardaway is a 1971 graduate of Tennessee Wesleyan and currently serves on our board. Dr. Hardaway and his wife Janice reside in Athens and are the parents of 2 daughters and have 1 grandchild. Dr. Wilhite, Reverend Dr. Hardaway, will you please join me at the podium? By the authority vested in me by the state of Tennessee, upon the authority of the Board of Trustees, and with the approval of the faculty, I confer upon Reverend Dr. Vant Hardaway the Honorary Doctorate of Public Service, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Reverend Dr. Hardaway, we extend our heartfelt congratulations and thank you for your life of service. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dr. Vant Hardaway. It is also an honor this morning to introduce our commencement speaker, a friend and a mentor, Mr. Jeff Cunningham. Mr. Cunningham is a 5th-generation native of McMinn County, Tennessee. and he received a BS in Banking and Finance from the University of Tennessee at Knoxville. Is an honors graduate of the University of Tennessee College of Law. Mr. Cunningham is a graduate of the ABA Graduate School of Banking at Georgetown University. Mr. Cunningham served as Executive Vice President at Capstar Bank and former CEO of Athens Federal Community Bank until his recent retirement. He served as Vice Chairman of the Board of Directors of Capstar and its holding company, as a member of the Risk, Credit, and Community Affairs Committees. Prior to entering the banking profession in 2000, Mr. Cunningham practiced law for 12 years and is the recipient of the AV lawyer rating bestowed on those who exhibit preeminent legal ability and the highest of ethical behavior. Mr. Cunningham is past president of the Independent Bankers Division of the Tennessee Bankers Association, and he served 2 terms as president of the McMinn Bar Association. He's also a member of our Board of Trustees. Mr. Cunningham presently serves as president and CEO of the Athens Federal Foundation, which is active throughout all of Southeast Tennessee. Athens Federal Foundation has awarded just under $1 million in gifts to nonprofit organizations throughout Southeast Tennessee, funding various charitable causes and organizations that assist with providing basic human needs to those who need assistance. Please give a warm welcome to our speaker, Mr. Jeff Cunningham.
Thank you, Dr. Knowles. Distinguished faculty and staff, honored guests, graduates. Last evening, I was trying to remember the names of all the commencement speakers I've heard through the years. I could not remember one. And then I thought, can I remember anything that any commencement speaker ever said to me, including my own commencement ceremonies? I could not remember any. Today, you may remember what I say, you may not. But what I'm going to say to you today, I'm going to tell you something that was said to me, not at a commencement speech, but something that was said to me that I've carried with me for the last 35 years. It has served me in every single aspect of my life. Just a few words, and I'll tell you those words in just a moment. My first boss, I did a fellowship in Chicago. My first boss was a guy named William T. Brigham Jr. He was a lawyer, an FBI man in the J. Edgar Hoover era. One of his favorite sayings was, there are 3 types of people: those who make things happen, those who watch things happen, and those who wonder what just happened. Which one will you be? And I ask you that question because we live in a country where we have some good things and some not so good things. But one of the greatest things in our country is that still today, most people can be what they want to be. And so, you will choose what type of person you will be. I was reading a transcript of a podcast recently about the greatest of all time, not just sports, but in many endeavors. And the conclusion was, and I'll move along so I don't run out of time, is that the common denominator was that most people who reach great heights, most of those people, the only difference between those people and others is that they're willing to do things that other people are not. They commit to something, some person, some way, and they don't quit. When I was in Chicago, a friend of mine called out from the West Coast. He was about 25. We'd been out of college a couple of years. And he said he was receiving an award called the Top 200. He worked for a large worldwide company that would be similar to Apple Computer today. And they had like 5,000 revenue producers. He was 25 years old and was to receive an award or recognition for being one of the top 200. He was flying into Chicago, wanted me to pick him up. We hung out for the morning, went to the luncheon. I remember sitting in the pickup lane at O'Hare, and I remember thinking about the speaker that we were going to hear. And I thought to myself, what would you say to 200 of the most arrogant, aggressive, A-plus personalities you'll ever be in a room with, you'll ever meet? I don't remember the speaker's name. I don't remember the subject of the speaker's presentation. But what I do remember are those words I referenced earlier. Somewhere in the middle of that presentation, the speaker says, and they were talking about sales, but it applies to anything. Don't worry about the sales you don't get. Worry about the sales you make. Don't worry about the customers you lose. Worry about the customers you take. What does that mean? We could talk for several hours about it because the maxim has several facets and several layers. But today I want to talk about two. What this speaker said is that when you take on a project, a customer, a project, a job, you have to worry about that. And by worry, that's a code for you have to be committed to it. You have to own it. Why is that important? In the workplace today, there's no secret about who is committed and who is not. You may have a lot of friends in the workplace, but they know you. They know if you're doing a half-warm job. They know you if you only half care about being there. They know you if you are trying to be better today than you were yesterday. They know you. And why is that important? Your peers and your supervisors that you go to work with or that you hang out with, those are the same people. You may think that you're slacking and nobody knows it on a project, but those are the same people who will choose what project you get next. So it's important to commit, not just to the client, but those around you, they notice those commitments. But the most important aspect of what I told you is the customer. The customer, think about it. You do a project, you represent a customer, you do your work, you move on to the next one. Your customers live with what you do. You're on to something else, they're still affected by what you did. So in some respects, your customers know you better than you know you. Why is any of this important? I have received millions of dollars of business from my companies over the years, not from advertising, not from being on a network, not from being on a social media app. My customers sent them to me. That's why it's important. Your customers will know who you are and what you're capable of. If they respect you, if they know you're committed to their cause, they'll send you more business. They'll open up more doors for you than you could ever hope to have. When your clients and your peers believe in you, the path to the top is near. But you can't just commit. People who achieve great things, it's not just the commitment. Anybody can commit. you have to sustain that commitment over time. And to sustain a commitment, you have to acknowledge certain things. All of us here today have challenges. My friend Henry Harrison, the former rector, used to say, Jeff, we're all broken. We have challenges. And any project that you engage in, there will be challenges. You'll get to the point to where you don't see a path ahead. You don't want to go on. You want to quit. And when you get to that point, you need to remind yourself, there's no easy way forward. Everything requires an effort. There's no one and done to glory. There's no help coming to take you to the top. It depends on you and what you do, not only when things are good, but when things are not so good. So remember this. When you find it difficult, and you will, many, many days, you just keep moving. You keep moving ahead, and you don't quit. I read an excerpt recently about a Navy SEAL. He had made it through Navy SEAL school and was in advanced training, and one thing he did not tell his supervisors is that he was terrified of heights. They came to the rock climb. He mastered the ropes, mastered the techniques. At the end of the course, they were to climb a 400-foot sheer rock face. He gets 200 feet up. He looks down. He freezes. He can't move. He's at the same place for 25 minutes. And finally, his team leader, and I'll paraphrase and summarize to move forward because I'm running out of time. His team leader ropes up, gets beside him, and says, "What's the problem?" He says, "I cannot move. I cannot move." And the team leader says, "How far to the right can you reach?" He said, "About 3 feet." "How far to the left?" "About 3 feet." "How far above?" 2 or 3 feet. "Can you step down a foot? A couple?" And the team leader says, "Sailor, your world is this 3-foot radius that you control. Nothing else matters. Nothing. You're here. You have 3 feet to succeed. Many have come before you and have covered this 3 feet." And he said, "Look up. Look all the way up." And the sailor looked up. And he said, "What do you see?" He said, "I see the top of the mountain." And the leader says, "You can get to the top of the mountain, but you can only get there 3 feet at a time." When I was a young lawyer, a fellow made an appointment to see me. Great thing about practicing law in a small town, I'd been with a large firm. In a small town, you meet so many fabulous people. You become not only their lawyers, but their friends. The guy shows up, walks in the conference room, 6'2", 185 pounds, tan skin, starched shirt, pressed pants, black wingtips. He said he wanted, or he thought he needed, a last will and testament. So we sat down. I said, "Tell me about yourself." He was 65 years young. His wife had recently passed. He owned a home. He and his wife had built it from scratch. He had a truck. The normal things you have around the house. And $400,000 in the bank. I said, "Do you have a retirement account or a pension?" He said, "No, I'm self-employed." I said, what do you do? He said, I open and close graves. And then he looked at me with a sort of a smile, and he said, I'm a grave digger. I said, how long you been doing that? He says, 44 years. I said, do you want, as part of this last will and testament, do you want your executor? I assume your daughter's going to get everything. Do you want her to get your equipment, your backhoe, your diggers? Or do you want him to sell it and give her the money? He says, I don't have a backhoe. I don't have a digger. I dig graves with a shovel. "44 years. And he began to tell me about his work. How deep, how wide, how long. I said, do you ever get tired of that? Do you ever want to quit? That's hard work. He said, no. He said, I started digging graves when I was in high school. My grandfather was a grave digger. My uncle was a grave digger. I went on to the Army, spent 4 years, came back, didn't have a job. My grandfather's health was failing. I helped him that summer. It's the only time I've wanted to quit. It was in July. It was nearly 100 degrees. Humidity was terrible. I said, Granddad, I don't think I want to do this. I think I want to quit. And my grandpa leaned over on his shovel and said, son, you don't want to quit. You're just frustrated. You're discouraged. You're just having a bad day. You're focused on the wrong things. And he said his granddad looked at him and said, son, when you dig a grave, you can't look at the hole because it'll always be too small. You can't look at the pile of dirt. It'll never be big enough. When you dig a grave, you have to focus. You have to watch the shovel. Because every time you put that shovel in the ground and put your foot on it and push that shovel in and come out with a shovel full of soil, that's progress. Undeniable progress. You have to focus on the progress, one shovel at a time. Today, you walked on this campus. 4 years ago, you did the same. In a few short minutes, you will leave. You will step off this campus, and you'll step out into the future. And as I said when we began, it's a future that by and large you will create for yourself. You will make the decisions. You will walk along the path of life in the directions that you choose. 10 years from now, 30 years from now, maybe longer, you'll look back. You'll look back on your life, and you'll ask yourself the questions of life. Has my life been well lived? Have I been a success? Have I made a difference? I don't know the answer, nor do you, but I can tell you this with almost certainty. If you committed during that walk over the next 30 years, if you commit to a cause, to a client, to an idea, to an ideal, if you commit to your work, and to those around you. Really commit. Remember the words, don't worry about the sales you lose, worry about the ones you take. Maybe you want a second grade or a kindergarten class and you get a fourth grade. Well, don't worry about the one you didn't get. Worry about the one you got. If you commit, if you teach that fourth grade student like she were your own child, if you embrace that engineering project given to you like it was for your company, if you represent that client in court as if you were the defendant, real commitment, you will have made a difference. You will have set forth a path, and you will like the answers to the questions that you ask yourself 30 years down the road. And finally, remember, anyone can commit, but the ones who succeed are the ones who sustain, the ones who keep their commitments. Remember, commitment, keeping it is difficult. When you see no path forward, when you're ready to quit, you just remember today, you can get to the mountaintop, but you got to get there 3 feet at a time. When you're frustrated, discouraged, remember the shovel. Focus on the progress of the day and the progress of the moment, one shovel at a time. When you leave today on your life's journey, if you'll take these maxims and thoughts with you, if you'll remember them along the way, if you'll truly commit to the cause and commit to the work you do, if you sustain that commitment, if you finish your work, the answer to the important questions in life, all of those answers will be yes. Yes, my life has been one well lived. Yes, my life has been a success. Yes, I made a difference. And those who know you will say, yes, you made it happen. Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Cunningham, for your address and for sharing your words of wisdom with us today. At this time, we'll begin with our special recognitions and presentation of awards. Dr. Wilhite.
The Athens Area Chamber of Commerce Awards are given to the male and female graduates who have achieved the highest academic average. This year, there is a tie for the female winners. They are Hannah Watson and Margaret Watkins. Please come forward. Our male recipient is Brady Brown with a grade point average of 3.9. Please come forward, Brady. The next honors to be presented are the Townsend Awards. The Townsend Awards are awarded annually to the male and female from the senior class who are chosen by the faculty as exemplary representatives of this university. This year's Townsend Awards go to Abigail Williams and Tyler Sloan. We would also like to take a moment to recognize the recipients of 2 Faculty Excellence Awards, which were previously announced. The Dean G. Hall Award was presented this year to Dr. Stacy Swafford. The Lockmiller Teacher of the Year Award was presented to Dr. Jack Seitz. Dr. Seitz and Dr. Swafford, please stand and be recognized.
The Harry Stedman Award is given to a friend of Tennessee Wesleyan University who has made outstanding contributions to the Holston Conference of the United Methodist Church, either through work in a local congregation or at the conference level. At this time, I'm privileged to present the 2021 Harry Stedman Award to Ms. Rebecca Jaquish. The Mary Mildred Sullivan Awards were established in 1940 and are awarded to a female student and a female community leader whose general conduct and relations with others indicate they possess an awareness of beauty and the value of life, coupled with spirited helpfulness. The 2021 Mary Mildred Sullivan Award goes to Tennessee Wesleyan student Maddie Carden. Congratulations. You're welcome. The winner of the 2021 Mary Mildred Sullivan Award for a female community leader is Miss Patty Greek. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
The Algernon Sidney Sullivan Awards, established in 1925, are given to a male student and a male community leader whose lives are a continuous expression of those high qualities which enable and beautify living and bind humankind in mutual love and helpfulness. The 2021 Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award goes to Tennessee Wesleyan student Noah Fager. Congratulations, sir. Well done. And the winner of the 2021 Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award for a Male Community Leader is Shane Sewell, Area President of Capstar Bank. And now comes the time we've all been waiting for, the awarding of your degrees. Degrees will be awarded in the following order: Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Business Administration, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Social Work, and Bachelor of Science. Dr. Wilhite, if you please.
Will the 2021 candidates for the Master of Arts in Teaching and Master of Business Administration degrees please stand? Mr. President, I present to you these members of the class of 2021 who have been recommended by the faculty, approved by the Board of Trustees, and who have completed all requirements to receive their Master of Arts in Teaching and Master of Business Administration.
By the authority vested in me by the State of Tennessee, upon the authority of the Board of Trustees, and with the approval of the faculty, I confer upon you the master's degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Please be seated.
Will the 2021 baccalaureate degree candidates please stand?
That's all the rest of you. Yes, that's you.
Mr. President, I present to you these members of the class of 2021 who have been recommended by the faculty, approved by the Board of Trustees, and who have completed all requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Social Work, and Bachelor of Science, respectively.
By the authority vested in me by the State of Tennessee, upon the authority of the Board of Trustees, and with the approval of the faculty, I confer upon you the baccalaureate degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Please be seated.
Will the candidates for master's degrees and baccalaureate degrees please come forward? Sarah Catherine Bragg. Amanda Beth Birchfield. Wrong way. Caleb Austin Moats. Alyssa D. Packett. Katie Marie Plemons, Brazil. Mary Megan Burke. Heather Renee Massengill. Liz Charla Matherin. Braden Cheyenne Nelson. Michaela Love. Justin Riley Morrow. Tyler Michael Sloan, summa cum laude. Sydney Faye Prater. Antonio Fermin Alejos, Jr. Leo Antonio Anthony, cum laude. Spencer Kofi Asamoah. Megan Alexis Atkins. Mackenzie Ayers, magna cum laude. Cody Christopher Bandy, magna cum laude. Kenny Lamont Benton, Jr. Stephanie Elizabeth Bugrat. Jeffrey Robert Brown. Brady Brown, summa cum laude. Riley Calandrino. Jocelyn Michelle Cantrell, magna cum laude. Caitlin Brooke Cantrell, cum laude. Braden Tyler Casey. Alexandria Nadine Chambers. Hannah Cherry, summa cum laude. Brittany Childers. Keely Dew Collins, cum laude. Kristen Mariana Contreras. Rachel Ann Cook, summa cum laude. Ashlyn Abigail Kreisman. Allison Nicole Crowder, summa cum laude. James Tyler Dalton, magna cum laude. Shelby Dane Dawson. Kimberly Page DaCosta, summa cum laude. Cody DeMalaves, cum laude. Patrick Allen DeMoss. Natalie Feaster, magna cum laude. Hannah Maria Fiorucci, magna cum laude. Ashton Faith Fitzpatrick. Alex Jevedin. Dylan Gilbert, summa cum laude. Heidi Nicole Graves, magna cum laude. Gavin Greco. Azaria Patrice Green. George Green, cum laude. Stanton Powell Grisham, cum laude. Dakota Elizabeth Halford. Brandon James Hardy. Mackenzie Hill. Darwin Daoud Hubbard, Jr. Jenna Humphrey, cum laude. Macy Hunt, cum laude. Miranda Shea Johnson, cum laude. Olivia Faith Johnson, magna cum laude. Melanie Johnson McMahon. John L. Knight. Amber Star Kyle, magna cum laude. Alyssa Lacey, summa cum laude. Thomas Charles Lake, cum laude. Todd Morris Lansden, Jr. Connor Francis Legros, summa cum laude. Carrie Leverins, cum laude. Cynthia Brianna Lindley. Javaris Kenneth Lemoyne Logan. Kyla Alexandria Long. Jara Marie Mack. Kelly Chase Mayer, magna cum laude. Gabriel Martin. Madison Page McClurg, summa cum laude. Seth Emmett McKinney. Taylor Minoskis. Joshua Molins. Julia Alexandria Morris. Hans Christian Mosier. Darius Malik Moss, summa cum laude. Crystal Giselle Munoz, cum laude. Jake Landon Murphy, summa cum laude. Leah Catherine Myers, summa cum laude. Isa Marie Anias Nazmik, summa cum laude. Kuda Ian Niwatiwa. Tiffany Faye Pace. Sivan C. Palacios. Pamela Mary Parker. Tranico Janice Parson. Jacob Patterson. Guy Taylor Phillips. Haley Jessica Polillo. Jamicio Cortez Rhine. Gavin Ray Robertson, cum laude. Giovanno Romeo. Chloe Renee Roots, magna cum laude. Lisa Bell Royal. Julia Ruiz Vargas, magna cum laude. Grace Scarborough, magna cum laude. Taylor Ryan Schultz. Brady Lynn Sexton. Jeremiah Stephen Sims, magna cum laude. Caitlin Michelle Strange, cum laude. Hannah Faith Torbett, magna cum laude. Annalise Vigilante, cum laude. Melanie R. Vincent. Nanika T. Walker. Tinsley Hunter Ware. Margaret Elizabeth Watkins, summa cum laude. Hannah Lee Watson, summa cum laude. Abigail Faith Williams, summa cum laude. Mandy Renee Williams, summa cum laude. Emma Lauren Wood, summa cum laude. Maya Devon Woodard. Savannah York, summa cum laude.
Families and friends, may I present to you the graduating class of 2021. At this time, I would like to have our graduates recognize their families for their wonderful help and support. Please join us in sharing our appreciation to your loved ones. Graduates, when considering your education at Tennessee Wesleyan, you'll realize that you are served by outstanding faculty and staff. Join me now in recognizing the distinguished members of our Tennessee Wesleyan University faculty and staff. At this time, I'm pleased to introduce Brooke Satkoviak, member of our class of 2003 and president of the Alumni Association. Please welcome Brooke to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Knowles. Gosh, it's so hard to believe that almost 20 years ago, I was sitting exactly where you're sitting right now. And I was listening and reflecting on Mr. Cunningham's speech. And he's exactly right. I do not remember who spoke at my commencement. And I don't remember what they said. And quite honestly, you spoke about 20 or so minutes ago, and I don't even remember what you said. No, I'm totally kidding. Tennessee Wesleyan is very near and dear to my heart. I was born and raised right here in Athens, and I got to spend my freshman and sophomore years here on campus before I had to move to Knoxville for my final 2 years as I worked toward my bachelor's in nursing. The 2 years that I spent here on this campus just weren't quite enough, so I was so excited when I had the opportunity to get involved again by way of being a member of the Alumni Association here. And I didn't realize how much I had missed being a part of this place. I've had the pleasure of being a board member for about 7 years and the honor of serving as president over the past few years. Once the ceremony is over and you depart to the next destination on your journey, my hope is that you take and keep the memories you've made here close to your heart. And what better way to facilitate that than to stay engaged with us? If you don't already, we hope that you follow us on social media. or make regular visits to the Tennessee Wesleyan website, where you can keep up with special events, keep up with the athletics, with clubs and organizations that you may have been a part of. We encourage you to keep your contact information with us up to date, and you can do that on the website in the alumni section, or you can call or email the awesome people over at the advancement office of the Alumni Affairs. We want to hear about important events in your life because that's very important to us. And you can share that online or by calling the Office of Alumni Affairs to let them know what's going on in your life. And a lot of that stuff ends up getting posted online on the website or in our alumni magazine called Arches. And be on the lookout, hopefully soon, for information regarding homecoming. We're very hopeful to be able to have something this year since we weren't able to last year. The changes that have taken place here on this campus since I was a student are just absolutely phenomenal, and it's in large part due to our alumni. I'm excited to see continued growth here, and I hope that at some point you will feel led to give back in some way to a university that has more than likely shaped you and helped build a strong foundation for what's to come in your life. There's nothing quite like this special community, and I'm thrilled to not only be a part of it, but to welcome you into our alumni family. Congratulations to each and every one of you for all of your accomplishments, and may God bless you in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Brooke. At this time, we ask all to stand and join as we sing the TWU Alma Mater found in your program. Following the Alma Mater, please remain standing for the benediction by Reverend Skip White. Congratulations again on an honor, well-deserved, and also we want to remind you all of the reception that's in Wallace Square following this ceremony, and you all can walk back there and take great pictures. Let us pray. And now may the grace of God and the peace of Christ be with you forever, today, tomorrow, and in all that you do. Go in love and go in peace. Amen.